I'm reading into so much about just controlling your energy, controlling your reactions, your emotions, right? Because ultimately, it's all a reflection on you and how you consume the energy or project the energy. It all goes back to you, like looking inward. So that's really cool that he like built that in you and you just built this powerful energy that you exude and have. And that's created Do Not Disturb. So,
And a lot of people throughout the way, right? Like I just happen to be surrounded by great people who you learn from through, osmosis. And, my agent was this serial entrepreneur at the time. He was an NFL agent, but he also was a personal injury lawyer. And then at the same time had two or three bars that he ran and operated. And so seeing someone that just was always on the go and hearing him like in golf be on a phone call with his general manager in Athens, Georgia, about the bar, or hearing him talk to his paralegal about a case, and just you just hear shit like that, and it's just like, damn, that's stimulating. Like, and he has a fulfilling life, and he still has his fun, and it was just something that was those type of things. My parents as well, right? Just being who they are, and showing the resilience that they've shown throughout their life. That like you just start surrounding yourself with people, and it kind of empowers you if you're willing to, you know, take that on.
yeah. Um, any life advice that you would give to a young entrepreneur, your future kids? Would you say the same words that your dad told you, or any like bigger? Yeah,
Yeah, I would say the same words, right? Control what you can control. Again, life is hard. Shit happens. Shit happens to everybody, right? Every time I talk to Liz, and again, this is my first time putting a face with your voice, but like it's true, right? Like you're always happy, you're always smiling. Like this whole podcast, you've been cheerfully looking on, and you have this positive energy and optimism to you. I'm sure there's a bunch of shit that happened to you this week, right? But when I talked to you, I would have never known. And even in this podcast, like you might be going through something right now, I would never know because like you just got to accept like shit happens, right? It's not like, oh, this didn't happen to Brandon, so why is it happening to me? Life isn't fair. Life isn't fair. So like just living with that understanding and moving, because then it will allow the control what you can control to be kind of more pertinent, because you can really, regardless of your circumstances, at least affect the outcome to a certain degree. And the rest, at least you tried your hardest or you tried what you could to do, so you can live with the outcome, positive or negative.
yeah, no, it's true. Couple more questions. How do you define success?
It's a great one. The obvious for I think a lot of people would probably be financial, but I don't describe success as that. I think success is accomplishing what you set out to accomplish. So I set out to build D&D, and the goal is to grow, scale, and sell it, right? Whether I sell it for $1 or I sell it for $100 million, I think that's successful because I was able to check that off. Um, and it's a success. I think it's not a one size fit all, right? Like it's fulfillment you receive. Are you fulfilled? Did you do this and that happened and this was the outcome? Are you fulfilled or not? And I think that's a successful outcome. Um, yeah, 'cause I can imagine this is me surmising, but probably the most on paper successful people are probably people you never heard of or seen on TV or been on a podcast or seen on Instagram. Um, because to them, success is a different metric than just the vanity of a million followers or $1 million in the bank or a million locations, right? So I think success is like a personal metric that revolves somewhere around fulfillment.
Yeah, I like that answer. For me, I think it's becoming a better version of myself every day and serving others. Like that to me is success. It makes me happy.
That's a great definition.
Yeah. So what's next for D&D?
We are growing and growing in a unique way in this boutique model. So right now we just opened a boutique location about 2 months ago at this luxury high-rise residential property in Midtown Atlanta. We're on the top floor of the Reserve Tower, which is their more exclusive tower. And so it's a resident-only amenity that the property licenses do not disturb. in our operations to run. So we run it like a second location. Our sign is on the door to the residents is do not disturb. And we, I think, are able to now scale quicker in that model. One, because you need a third of the size that we have at the flagship location at Pont City Market, but two, because multiple things like wellness tourism is really big now. It's supposed to be in 2030 like a $1.6 trillion market. So like, how are these antiquated but luxury prestigious brands like a Ritz-Carlton, like a St. Regis, how are they adapting with the times? I was telling someone this earlier, like I've never stayed in a Ritz outside of like one time for work because we had our all staff like team retreat there in Pentagon City. But every Ritz I've ever seen is very outdated, right? You got the Ritz brand, the Ritz name, right? It's cool to say I live at the Ritz or I stay at the Ritz, but like I stay in a lot of Marriotts that I would take over a Ritz, even though Ritz is a Marriott property. But like my point being, you have a lot of these brands that could use a revamp of their spa or the revamp of their wellness to now be this premier destination, not only with the price point because you're a Ritz, but the price point because you got a D&D downstairs. So I think wellness tourism is a way to grow in that. And then also this boutique model, like I alluded to with the residential properties, right? Getting into these high-end properties where it's now table stakes that you have a sauna in your building, right? Like it used to be table stakes that you got to have a gym in your apartment complex. Now it's probably going to be in this year or next year table stakes that you have a sauna and a cold plunge, right? It's going to be 10 years from now table stakes that you can get a massage in your building. It's going to be table stakes that you can get IVs in your building. So like being able to just be that one size fit all playbook for properties, right? So now they don't have to worry about the spa or who to get as the spa director or who's going to maintenance the cold plunges and saunas because D&D does this as a full-time business and can now do it inside your building on like a licensing model, right? Think about it like Starbucks inside of Target. We want to be Starbucks inside of Target, right? Like Starbucks is everywhere, but then also it's inside of Target. So I'm assuming the 40,000 square feet of property that Target has, Starbucks is probably taking up 1,000 of it, and they're not having to pay 40,000 square feet of rent, right? And so like it's a more economically sustainable model too that allows Starbucks to also feed off the millions of customers Targets gets on a daily basis. Same with us. We now feed off of the occupancy of these residential properties and these hospitality properties. So I think that's what's next for D&D and like the projects I'm working on and trying to start that flywheel so that we can have more than just one location, but we can be, you know, all over Atlanta, but also with these bigger brands like a Starwood Hotel property or some hospitality group that could put us in all their footprints.
That's so cool. You're making me like want to work for D&D. I'm like, do I have more bandwagon? Vivian, my assistant's probably like, no, Liz.
We work together though, so like right, like and it's the what you alluded to at the beginning of this podcast, right? Like the ability, and that's why I love lazy hype, like the ability, again, I have a million things running in my mind. And so I can regurgitate it, close that loop, and know Liz is going to get back to me with mock-ups and this is what this looks like, and this is how we can make it look X, Y, and Z. And then now you took 1,000 decisions out my hand and presented me three options. And now I was like, all right, cool. I like this, but move it this way, or that's perfect. Or hey, can you send me some more mock-ups that I haven't talked about that you might think are interesting based off of what you guys are exposed to? And so yeah, working together for sure has been a positive and a godsend in just that capacity alone.
I feel the same way. I love that. So, where can people find you on Instagram, TikTok?
Yeah, our Instagram is do not disturb, just spelled regular. Um, TikTok, I think is the same, do not disturb, and then do not disturb ATL.com is our website if you want to learn more. But you can also get that link just through the bios on our Instagram and TikTok.
Amazing. Well, Brandon, thank you so much for partnering with me, for your time, for just being a godsend.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you all and love what you all are doing. And I mean, just to give you your flowers, that first conversation we had, you sent the code email. I saw the deck. It was intriguing enough to give it a call. And then the way you just had your ear to the street in this world, especially for merch and trends and things like that, but also like with the material and kind of how you guys do everything in house. It was dope. And then working with you, like I said, just the urgency, the responsiveness, the creativity has been great. So it's been a pleasure and an honor to do this.
That's so kind. You know, one thing I won't forget is you were in town and I was down in Orange County. And as you can tell, my schedule's all over the place. And I wanted, like, I love your branding, I love what you're doing. So I was like, I just want him to succeed. And if I can't give him the time, let me give him my top competitor. And you were so loyal to me.
Yeah, that was real. I think that was a psychological thing though. I love that because it was like when you said that, I was like, one, why would she do that? That's like too nice, right? And it like made me want to work with you even more because you even offered to like do that, right? And I respect that because I know like I mean that's a that's a client that you could potentially have lost. And so I appreciate you even extending that offer. And for everyone listening, I didn't take her up on that offer. I immediately said, "Man, I want to work with you." So yeah, I remember that was funny.
But also now you're like VIP because of that, which it was very unintentional, right? But I'm like, he's so good to us. We better be good to him and make sure that like everything looks perfect. So thank you.
No, I appreciate you guys.
Well, I will let you go. And I will hopefully be in Atlanta sometime soon and check out your growth.
Yeah, of course. You know how to get a hold of me, so I would love to show you around.